Hey there, focus learners, and welcome back. Today, we're jumping right into a seriously inspiring journey, looking at the actual mechanics of self-belief. I mean, if you've ever felt that heavy, dragging weight of self-doubt and wondered, how on earth did history's most resilient figures actually conquer this? Well, you are in the exact right place. We're going to break down exactly how real people faced unimaginable darkness and somehow used it to forge totally unbreakable confidence.
So our whole explainer today is pulled straight from Cameron Bailey's powerful book, Triumphs of Self-Confidence, and it is a phenomenal resource. It doesn't just hand you empty platitudes, It deeply analyzes the real stories of individuals who overcame intense doubt to achieve incredible things. It really shows us that confidence isn't some magical gift, it's a method. Okay, let's dive into this. What actually is self-confidence? Well, it's simply defined as the belief in oneself, one's abilities, and one's judgment. But here is the absolutely crucial part. It is a learned behavior. It's not a fixed trait. You are not just born with it or without it. It's something you cultivate over time through your experiences and your self-esteem, which is really just how you evaluate your own self-worth.
And that self-esteem, it basically builds our foundational mindset. Think of the growth mindset like this. People here truly believe their abilities can be improved with effort. They see challenges as opportunities to learn. Now contrast that with the fixed mindset, where your abilities feel totally static and challenges act like direct threats to your self-worth. Building real confidence requires actively shifting away from that fixed state and just completely embracing growth.
Part 1. Triumphs over adversity. Historical icons of resilience.
To really get how this growth mindset works in the wild, we've got to look at real people who faced immense, seemingly insurmountable darkness, yet somehow managed to build incredible, world-changing confidence. Just think about Nelson Mandela. Born in 1918 in a segregated South Africa, he dedicated his life to fighting apartheid. In 1962, he was arrested and sentenced to life in prison. He spent 27 years enduring harsh conditions and intense isolation. 27 years. Yet, his unwavering commitment to justice never faltered. He didn't let prison force his mindset into a fixed state of defeat. Instead, he leaned into a growth mindset, becoming this massive beacon of hope. Released in 1990, he negotiated a peaceful transition to democracy and was elected president. His story is literally a masterclass in resilience.
Next up, we have a profound quote that just perfectly captures our next icon. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. Helen Keller lost her sight and hearing at just 19 months old due to an illness. She was trapped in a world without conventional communication until her teacher, Anne Sullivan, helped her break through by spelling words into her hand. Armed with this new tool and just immense self-belief, she transitioned from physical blindness to a profound internal vision. She went on to graduate from Radcliffe College with honors and became a world-renowned author and activist. She completely refused to let her disabilities define her. And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer defiance of the human spirit. Much like Stephen Hawking, diagnosed with ALS at just 21 years old, he was given only 2 years to live. A totally devastating, paralyzing prognosis. But instead of surrendering to a fixed, unchangeable fate, he used it as a drive to make the absolute most of his time. He cultivated a remarkable growth mindset, completing his PhD in theoretical physics just a few years later. And then in 1988, he published A Brief History of Time, which fundamentally reshaped how we understand the universe. He turned a perceived end into a lifetime of cosmological breakthroughs.
The source text also highlights some incredible modern titans, like Malala Yousafzai and Oprah Winfrey. Malala faced down the Taliban's oppressive regime to fight for girls' education, surviving a targeted assassination attempt at 15 to become the youngest ever Nobel Peace Prize laureate. And Oprah, she rose from intense childhood poverty and abuse in rural Mississippi to become a global media executive and philanthropist. Both of these women absolutely refused to be silenced, proving emphatically that your past hardships do not have to dictate your future success.
Okay, we're at a perfect halfway point here, and these stories are really just the beginning of what we're uncovering today. If you find this analysis valuable, please like and subscribe to Knowledge Lighthouse to help us bring more truths to light.
Part 2. Strategies to build confidence, moving from inspiration to action. So the crucial point is, how do we actually take all this inspiration and use it to build our own confidence? Well, it requires structure. Step 1 is simply recognizing you are not alone. Literally everyone faces self-doubt, so build yourself a support system. Step 2 shifts us from vague ideas to concrete plans. Set specific, measurable goals. Just saying, I want to be more confident almost always fails, but aiming for, I will speak up once in today's meeting, that is tangible, that's achievable. Step 3 is about taking small actions. Breaking massive, daunting tasks into bite-sized pieces makes success feel real. And Step 4, practice self-compassion. Seriously, treat yourself with the exact same kindness you'd offer a best friend when they hit a roadblock.
Building right on that, how do we take action today? The text really emphasizes starting small and holding yourself accountable. Maybe you track your progress or share your goals with someone. But here's the real kicker. Embrace failure as learning. Failure is completely natural. In fact, it's practically a requirement. It builds resilience and feeds directly back into that growth mindset we were talking about earlier. If you aren't failing occasionally, you simply aren't stretching your capabilities.
Part 3. Finding and sharing inspiration. The cycle of empowerment.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the reminder that building self-confidence isn't just an inside job. To successfully combat that negative self-talk, you have to become intensely intentional with your media consumption. Actively curate what you're reading and watching. Seek out biographies of people you admire, listen to podcasts with folks who have overcome adversity, and engage with positive social media communities instead of just doom scrolling. Because what you put into your mind directly impacts your self-esteem. And the whole cycle actually completes when you share what you've learned. The text points out that sharing stories of resilience, like J.K. Rowling facing dozens of publishing rejections, or Nick Vujicic finding profound purpose despite being born without limbs, it creates this deep sense of connection. Sharing these stories doesn't just help other people feel less alone in their struggles, it actually reinforces your own internal motivation and cements your growth mindset. It just beautifully wraps up the internal and external mechanisms of confidence.
We have covered some incredible ground today, from the core definition of a growth mindset to the real, actionable steps you can take right now to build unshakable confidence. But there is so much more to explore in Cameron Bailey's work. For the complete deep dive, own the paperback. Get your high-quality paperback edition on Amazon via the link in the description. Add it to your collection today. Please share this video and check the description for more. But before you go, I want you to ask yourself, what is one small action you're going to take today to step out of a fixed mindset and into your own confidence?